Most drivers think engine flush is harmless until they try it on a high-mileage engine. Because sometimes, the sludge inside an old engine is not just dirt anymore. It becomes part of the engine itself, part of the oil pressure behavior, part of the sealing, part of the fragile balance that kept the engine alive for 300,000 miles. And when that balance suddenly gets disturbed, things can begin changing quietly inside the engine long before the driver notices anything wrong. This 300,000-mile engine survived decades of wear, thousands of cold starts, years of oxidized oil, slowly building varnish, carbon deposits, microscopic bearing wear, and one bottle of engine flush nearly changed everything. So we decided to test it properly, not in a laboratory, not on a clean engine, not with sponsored claims, real-world testing, real oil analysis, real cold starts, real filter inspections. And what we found inside this engine completely changed how we think about engine flushes. Section 10. Why mechanics completely disagree about engine flushes. This is where the entire debate starts. Some mechanics swear by engine flushes. They'll tell you they clean sludge, restore oil flow, reduce lifter noise, and help old engines run smoother. And sometimes, they do, but veteran mechanics often react very differently. Some refuse to use flushes entirely on neglected high-mileage engines, not because they think sludge is healthy, because they know old engines survive differently than newer ones. Here's what most drivers never realize. An old engine doesn't survive by staying clean. It survives by adapting slowly to wear. That adaptation becomes chemical, mechanical, even hydraulic. Deposits form slowly over years. Oil passages partially restrict gradually. Clearances widen gradually, seals harden gradually. The engine finds equilibrium around its own wear. And this is where old engines become unpredictable. Because aggressive cleaning can suddenly disturb conditions the engine has adapted to for decades. One experienced rebuilder explained it quietly during this test. Sometimes sludge is the only compression left. That sounds dramatic, until you see what happens after those deposits disappear. But this is where things started getting dangerous. Section 9. The 300,000-mile test engine. The engine itself looked exactly like the kind people are tempted to flush. High mileage, unknown maintenance history, visible varnish under the oil cap, dark staining around the valve train, slight oil consumption, roughly 1 quart every 2,000 miles, cold start ticking during winter mornings. But surprisingly, the engine still ran well. Compression numbers were stable, fuel economy was acceptable, idle quality wasn't perfect, but consistent. Hot oil pressure stayed within safe range. That mattered. Because stable oil pressure on an old engine often means the wear has stabilized into a predictable pattern. Not healthy, stable, there's a difference. And this engine had clearly survived through adaptation more than maintenance. The seals were old. The timing system had slight startup noise. The oil smelled heavily oxidized during the baseline drain. But somehow, the engine kept running. That's what made this test uncomfortable. Because the engine wasn't dying, it was surviving. And that creates a very different question. Not, can a flush clean the engine? But, what happens after the cleaning starts moving through a worn lubrication system? And the answer turned out to be far more complicated than expected. Section 8. Why sludge forms in old engines. Most sludge starts slowly, almost invisibly. Heat cycles break down oil molecules over time, additives weaken, moisture accumulates, fuel dilution increases. Microscopic soot particles suspend inside the oil, oxidation thickens the remaining oil. Then heat bakes those contaminants onto metal surfaces. That's varnish, the amber-brown staining seen inside old engines. Sludge comes later, usually in low-flow areas, valve train corners, oil return passages, timing covers, oil pan edges, anywhere oil sits hot for long periods without enough circulation. And this is where old engines begin changing internally. Oil return slows, hydraulic tensioners react slower during cold starts, lifter noise becomes more common, timing systems become more pressure sensitive, not suddenly, quietly, over years. Most drivers never notice this happening. The engine simply feels older, slightly rougher, slightly noisier, slightly less responsive. But internally, oil flow stability slowly drifts away from factory behavior. And this is exactly why aggressive cleaning becomes risky in neglected engines. because sludge isn't always loose contamination. Sometimes it has hardened into place over years. Sometimes it partially seals worn clearances, sometimes it masks ring wear, sometimes it slows leaks around aged seals. Again, that does not make sludge healthy, but it does make sudden cleaning unpredictable. And the next stage of the test proved exactly why. Section 7, how we tested the engine flush. We wanted real-world results, not marketing claims. So before the flush, we documented everything. Cold start oil pressure, hot idle oil pressure, fuel economy, idle smoothness, throttle response, compression readings, oil consumption, and most importantly, used oils analysis. Because used oil tells the truth engines try to hide. Wear metals reveal microscopic internal damage long before drivers hear noises. Iron from cylinder wear, copper from bearings, aluminum from pistons, lead from older bearing materials. Those tiny particles become fingerprints of engine health. Then we inspected the oil filter, cut it open, examined contamination inside the pleats. No assumptions, no shortcuts. Then came the flush itself. A modern detergent-based formula marketed as safe for high-mileage engines. The instructions sounded simple. Add flush to warm oil, idle engine 15 minutes, drain immediately, replace oil and filter. That simplicity is exactly what makes engine flushes dangerous psychologically. Because drivers assume simple means harmless, but old engines are chemically fragile systems. And once decades of deposits begin dissolving, things start moving. That's the part labels never explain. Section 6, the first signs that the flush was working. At first, everything looked better. That's what made this test unsettling. The old oil drained out darker than expected, almost tar-like near the end of the drain. The fresh oil went in, new filter installed. Then came the first startup. Immediately, the engine sounded smoother. Cold start ticking reduced. Throttle response sharpened slightly. Idle quality improved. Oil pressure stabilized faster during startup. Honestly, if the test had ended there, most drivers would call the flush a complete success. And this is where online engine flush videos become misleading. Because old engines rarely reveal problems immediately. They reveal them after heat cycles, after debris moves, after oil flow patterns change. And during the first several hundred miles, the engine actually felt healthier. Fuel economy improved slightly. Cold starts sounded quieter. Throttle response stayed smoother. At first, everything looked better. Then the second oil filter came apart, and what we found inside changed the tone of the entire test. Section 5, the debris inside the filter. Inside the oil filter pleats was visible contamination. Dark carbon particles, soft sludge fragments, tiny hardened debris, not catastrophic chunks, nothing dramatic, but enough to immediately concern experienced mechanics. Because once loosened contamination begins circulating, it has to travel somewhere, through oil galleries, hydraulic lifters, timing chain tensioners, variable valve timing solenoids, camshaft oil passages. And in high-mileage engines, many of those passages are already partially restricted from age and varnish buildup. That's where the danger starts becoming invisible, not instant failure. Lubrication instability, small restrictions, pressure fluctuations, cold start starvation lasting slightly longer than before. Most drivers never see this happening. They only notice symptoms later. And the next cold start revealed something unexpected. The morning after the second oil change, the engine sounded different, not dramatically worse. That's what made it unsettling. The cold start ticking came back for about 2 seconds longer than before the flush. Then it disappeared. Oil pressure still reached normal range. No warning lights, no catastrophic noises. But something had changed. And experienced mechanics know old engines rarely change behavior for no reason. This is where the test stopped feeling like simple maintenance and started feeling like internal balance had shifted. Section 4, the oil pressure behavior after multiple heat cycles. Oil pressure tells you things drivers never hear, especially in old engines. Before the flush, hot idle oil pressure was low but stable, predictable. After the flush, pressure initially improved slightly. That looked encouraging. But after several hundred miles, the readings became less consistent during hot idle conditions. Not dangerous, just unstable, a slight fluctuation, small enough most drivers would never notice, but enough to suggest oil flow behavior had changed internally. This is where old engines become complicated. Because deposits do not disappear evenly. Some areas clean faster than others. Some sludge softens but does not fully dissolve. Some contamination gets trapped inside the filter. Some continues circulating through the system. And sometimes, partially restricted oil passages become temporarily more unstable after cleaning begins. That's where veteran mechanics become cautious. Not because they think cleaning is bad, because they understand how sensitive lubrication systems become after hundreds of thousands of miles. One technician explained it this way: an old engine survives on predictable flow. Disturb the flow too aggressively and strange things start happening. And this is where the oil analysis became critical, because the engine still sounded mostly normal, but internally, the data told a different story. Section 3, the used oil analysis results. This was the moment the test changed completely. The first post-flush oil analysis showed elevated wear metals. Not catastrophic, but noticeable. Iron increased. Aluminum increased slightly. Copper rose more as expected. Again, not engine failure, but increased mechanical wear activity. That matters, because temporary increases in wear metals can happen after aggressive cleaning, especially when deposits protecting worn surfaces suddenly disappear. Most drivers misunderstand this completely. They assume cleaner automatically means healthier, but clean surfaces also expose existing wear patterns. And once sludge dissolves away from worn components, contact behavior changes, oil film behavior changes, cold start lubrication changes. This is why veteran mechanics sometimes avoid flushing neglected engines entirely. Not because they fear cleaning, because they fear destabilizing an engine that adapted slowly to its own wear. The oil analysis also showed increased insulables during the first interval after the flush. That suggested suspended contamination was still moving through the lubrication system. And what surprised us most, the engine still drove smoothly. That's what makes hidden engine wear dangerous psychologically. Drivers trust feel. But engines communicate through chemistry long before they communicate through sound. And the next few thousand miles revealed exactly that. Section 2, the symptoms that slowly appeared later. Nothing dramatic happened, no explosion, no sudden rod knock, no catastrophic seizure. That's not how old engines usually fail. Instead, small changes started appearing. Oil consumption increased slightly. Cold start ticking became more frequent during colder mornings. Idle quality fluctuated occasionally after long drives. Then a very small oil seep appeared around an aging gasket that had previously remained dry for years. This is something many mechanics quietly mention about flushes. Old seals sometimes survive because deposits help stabilize hardened surfaces. Remove those deposits aggressively, and weak sealing areas can suddenly reveal themselves. Again, the flush did not cause the wear already existed. The cleaning exposed it. That distinction matters. And this is exactly why mechanics disagree so strongly about engine flushes. Some see improved oil flow and reduced sludge. Others see old engines destabilize afterward. Both observations can be true at the same time. That's what makes this topic so misunderstood online. The engine actually did improve in some areas. Throttle response stayed smoother. The upper valve train looked visibly cleaner through inspection. Some startup noise reduced temporarily. But the engine also became slightly more sensitive afterward, less tolerant, more chemically exposed. And this is where the psychology of old engines becomes important. Drivers often mistake survival for health. They are not the same thing. A neglected engine can survive for years through internal adaptation, stable deposits, stable wear patterns, stable oil flow restrictions. Disturb that balance too quickly, and hidden weaknesses begin surfacing slowly. That's where the flush stopped looking harmless. Section 1, what experienced mechanics actually believe about engine flushes. This is the part most videos oversimplify. Engine flushes are not miracle products, but they are not scams either. They are tools. And tools become dangerous when used without understanding the condition of the engine. On well-maintained engines with regular oil changes, modern detergent flushes can sometimes remove soft deposits safely, especially when contamination is light. Oil flow remains stable, passages stay open, wear patterns remain controlled. But neglected high-mileage engines behave differently, especially engines with unknown maintenance history. Heavy sludge, oxidized oil deposits, aging seals, timing chain wear. Hydraulic tensioners already operating near their limits. That's where aggressive cleaning becomes unpredictable. One rebuilder told us something during this test that stayed with us. Clean doesn't always mean healthy, and that's true, because some deposits are harmful. But some deposits are masking deeper mechanical wear underneath. That's why short oil change intervals are often safer for extremely high mileage engines than aggressive flushes. Slow cleaning, gradual detergent exposure, controlled contamination removal, less shock to the lubrication system. High detergent synthetic oils can often clean engines slowly over thousands of miles instead of minutes. That matters, because old engines survive through stability more than cleanliness. And manual cleaning methods sometimes become safer in severe sludge cases, removing valve covers, physically cleaning heavy buildup, avoiding massive contamination circulation through sensitive oil passages. Again, not glamorous, but safer. Meanwhile, the do-nothing approach also carries risks, because heavy sludge eventually restricts oil return and lubrication flow anyway. That's why there is no universal answer here. Engine condition matters more than mileage. Maintenance history matters more than mileage. Deposit type matters more than mileage. And what we learned from this 300,000-mile engine changed how we view flushes completely. The flush did not destroy the engine instantly. That's not what happened. What happened was more subtle, more realistic, more dangerous long-term. The flush changed the internal balance the engine had adapted to for 300,000 miles. Some things improved, some things became unstable, some hidden wear finally revealed itself. And that's the part most drivers never see, because engines rarely fail from one dramatic moment. They fail from thousands of tiny changes accumulating over time. Slightly longer cold start starvation, slightly reduced oil film protection, slightly more unstable pressure behavior, microscopic wear increasing mile after mile. That's how old engines slowly drift toward failure, quietly. And this is exactly why many veteran mechanics approach engine flushes cautiously on neglected engines. Not out of superstition, out of experience. Because they've seen engines survive for years untouched, then begin declining shortly after aggressive cleaning changed internal conditions. Again, that does not mean sludge is good. It means old engines become chemically fragile after decades of wear. And aggressive cleaning always comes with trade-offs. The final oil analysis after continued driving showed wear metals slowly stabilizing again. That mattered. The engine did not die, it continued running. But the internal behavior never fully returned to its original pattern before the flush. Oil consumption remained slightly elevated, cold start sensitivity remained slightly worse, and the engine simply felt cleaner, but older. That distinction became the emotional core of this entire test. Because most drivers think old engines die from dirt. Sometimes, they survive because the dirt remains stable. And that's a deeply uncomfortable reality for anyone maintaining high-mileage vehicles. The most dangerous engine damage is often hidden under the deposits you're trying to remove. So would we flush a 300,000-mile engine again? Carefully, very carefully, only after evaluating maintenance history, oil pressure behavior, cold start condition, sludge severity, and the owner's expectations. Because once you disturb decades of buildup, you may also disturb the fragile balance keeping that engine alive. And that's something most bottles never warn you about. Would you ever flush a 300,000-mile engine? Have you ever seen an engine get worse after a flush? And do you think sludge protects old engines or slowly destroys them? Let us know in the comments. And if you want to understand what really happens inside aging engines before the warnings appear, subscribe. Because the most expensive engine damage is usually the kind you never notice until thousands of miles later.